Tay the Wild Wilder, and we had a very, very good and great debate in regards, or conversation in regards to how and what the city should be doing and how we should be treating each other in the local politic, because it has been getting nasty. It is very divisive. And, you know, Tay's, I'm not saying she's a newcomer because she's been here a while now, but she has, you've actually, you know, been observing how things are running here, and, you know, and you have an opinion about it, and you're saying that we should be a little bit more nicer in our politic, correct?
I shouldn't say nicer, because this isn't like a best friends race, but I'm saying we need to be more respectful of one another.
Mm-hmm. Now, how can we do that if Evan Moron, Forcible Rape Morgan, is doing what he's doing? Because I'm not from the turn the other cheek type mentality.
I tell people all the time, you know, I'm not my grandparents. Get these hands.
Right.
But, again, time and place.
Okay.
It's all about time and place.
Right.
And, I mean, yes, we can... Oh, I just posted on the city website. Said, how about to shut everyone up, let's bring in a third party and perform an audit. Boom.
Boom.
There you go.
That's not going to happen either.
Because
he did an audit before.
But I'm just saying, no, bring in a
completely different.
Completely a third party.
We did. It cost us $150,000.
We pay $3,000 for a lobbyist every month. We pay $30,000 a month in freaking landscaping.
Why don't you stop with exposing the city about what they pay and stuff like that?
This is the city where I live.
Exactly, and they don't.
It's a public.
Tay, I care about you. I don't want you to disappear.
Disappear my ass. I wish somebody would. But I'm saying, if we want if people want to shut everybody up, bring in an audit. Bring in someone to perform an audit.
Why don't we just bring in the federal marshals and just start locking people up?
I don't care who does it. Freaking the Badger Springs Middle School Math Club can come out here and do an audit. I don't care.
Okay, SCORE doesn't do an audit on their stuff.
Everyone needs to be audited.
Okay.
For the sake of transparency, because that's what transparent California, right?
Well,
isn't that what we talk about? You can go on the internet, Google machine, and you can bring up how much the mayor makes at the school district. You can bring up what he gets paid. Michelle Dawson makes $300 and something thousand.
Former council person, I'm not going to call her a bank robber. LaDonna Jimson ran on honesty and transparency.
Boom!
How do we get that?
Someone else just co-signed my audit.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Oh, so somebody's listening, or they're at least reading your post. That's really good. So, how do we get that? Since, you know, I mean, the civility, I've signed on to put my agenda aside for a consistent person.
I'm just asking. I'm highly recommending. You know, Air Force speak. What that means that everyone starts to put on their big girl panties and start talking to each other as if we're tax-paying adults, because we are adults.
Yes.
No matter
some of us. Yes, go ahead.
We need to talk to each other
and not at each other.
Yes, but we need to also be active listeners, not passive listeners. We need to hear what one another is coming from, and if we don't do that, we stop the attacking. And, you know, when someone asks a question that we disagree with or we don't feel... Because a lot of people need to learn to shut the fuck up. And that's what I'm just going to put that out there.
There you go.
And I know it's going to hurt a lot of people's feelings, but in the beginning, when I first got here, I would jump on... You know, I'd see somebody post something, and I would post something back. And then I've learned the power of shutting the fuck... Really, people need to. Okay. Because not every question needs a response. Or it doesn't need a smart-ass response. So if you're not going to add something to the conversation, then just shut up. Just observe what's going on. Shut up and color. That's all I'm asking people to do. No, and you know that's military speak. But I'm just saying, a lot of people just don't hop on and feel like they need to put their cape on and keyboard warriors and unleash the fury. You don't have to do that. It's all it does, it starts to create more chaos than necessary.
Okay, can I ask you this?
Okay.
I'm going to ask you this real quick.
Oh, God.
Why is it that every time when people want stuff to stop or, you know, we need to do this, why is it that, and I'm using myself as an example.
Okay.
Why is it, let's say the animosity between me and Denise. Why is it that I have to do it first? Why doesn't the other side? Why don't they go to Denise and ask her to do it first? Why do I always have to make the first move?
You know what? I can't and won't speak for anyone else because I don't travel in the same circles as Denise. I don't travel in the same circles as LaDonna. You know, I've met her a few times.
LaDonna is a very nice lady. She's very nice. I worked with her for 2 years.
Her husband is
hilarious. Jackie is hilarious.
There's I kind of keep to myself. You know, I come out of the woodwork every once in a while.
Yes.
But for the most part, but anyways,
you got small feet.
I do. No, actually, big feet. No, I really do. I have big feet. I wear a size 8. I have big feet.
And men or women?
Women.
Oh, so those are pretty small feet. But
no, I have big feet. But thank you. And the only reason why I think a lot of people come to you is one, because you're out there. I mean that in the like you're crazy, ha ha ha. But I mean you are. You're all over the place. You're in District 4. And, you are literally...
Yes, I put money in District 4 in that election. Yes, I did.
No, you are kind of... when I need an explanation for things, you are kind of like my go-to guy. And for some people,
to break it down.
You have done a lot of good things. You brought debates to the community. You've done a lot of wonderful things to for the community. And people are appreciative of what you do for the community. You do. Between you and MV Gordon, there are a lot of wonderful people out here. Aja for the... Oh my
Brandon.
God. There's so many wonderful people out here that, that give so much of themselves. Like when Melissa Martinez was doing the cleanup crew.
I was there.
And then, Roy and Deborah were out there, doing hey, we need to rally the troops and all. Yep. All that wonderful
that we can do together.
And you guys did it. And when I saw that, I was like, well, God,
they're at each other's throat 1 week, but yet they can come together for this.
But they put their bull crap aside for the community. And that is why I think, I respect, as much as I may disagree with Deborah and I may disagree with Roy, and I disagree with you sometimes.
Yeah.
But I still think that what you do outweighs the differences that we may have. And I will never discount anything that you guys have done to make Merino Valley better, even if it's street by street and block by block. Right. You guys are out here doing more than what I've seen a lot of other people do. Right.
Can I ask you this? What is the common denominator that we all seem to have a problem with? There's, and I understand where you're going with that, and I get perplexed too, because even though me and Roy, we don't agree on certain things and how to go, and me and Deborah might not agree on this, was the first person I met actually when I got involved in city politics. That's what doing the Tom Owings thing and stuff like that. And the sad thing is this. You're right. We as a people, we can do great things together if we would put our egos to the side. See, during that cleanup, wait. In that cleanup, notice Denise Fleming was absent. LaDonna Jim was there. Denise Fleming was absent. When it's come to get your hands dirty, this woman she's nowhere to be found. But that's just on her. But here's the common denominator.
And I understand that and I respect that.
Here's the common denominator. In all our problems, no matter which way you look at it, there is one problem in this city. His name is Edo Beasy in Highland Fairview.
But understand that people are going to have loyalty to him. And then there's others that... But there's others that... And,
Here's what I'm saying. And I just think about this. For the better of the city, is it best that we keep this divisive person in the city, or do we get rid of them? Now, if I was on that council, I would make my intention known. I don't care who knows it or not. I have every intention to get this developer out of this city.
It's to the point...
And bring the city together.
But and I have to agree with you that it's to the point where it's so ugly in this city. It's really, really ugly. And it's not just... And it's sad, really.
That's the sad thing. That's what I'm saying.
It's sad, really.
If you take this common denominator out of here, this city would be so much better. It would.
Yeah.
You take this person out of here. There's no other developer that invests in our politics other than this guy.
And the sad part is there are other people like, God, Hafner.
Yeah, Eric Hafner.
You know, he's, you know, Bridge is in the community, and they have several several properties within the city
around the country.
But you don't see him.
His presence.
Yeah, he's not kind of lording over.
Exactly, he doesn't need to.
And
because here's the thing: if I was on that council, I would say, I don't care if I'm not the mayor or not. Any developer that comes into this city and wants to do business in this city, what are you going to build for us? We need a civic center. We need a youth center. We need an auditorium. Whatever.
We need roads.
Right.
To fix.
I would say, whatever project it is, if you're going to do it, you got to build that something. We need a library. Are you going to build that for us?
Yeah.
Approved.
You know, we need a lot of things in this city.
But this guy, we give him everything and we get nothing. That's my beef with Ida.
Yeah.
Period.
And that's what I said.
You want me to get on board with Highland Fairview? Build something.
But you want to turn the tide in the city, then you need to look at how. You need to look at what you're doing. You need to look at your behavior. You need to look at the people that represent you. And if those people aren't putting you in the light, then maybe you need to reassess how you go about business. But
I've told Ida that several times.
And I understand that he has an agenda, he has a plan, and this is what
and there's nothing wrong with it.
And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's perfectly fine. But if you're going to do this, then I need you to give me something.
Exactly.
I need you to build me a water park, a golf course.
That's what I'm saying.
I need you to give me something.
Okay, you didn't finish Skechers, and now you want us to approve this? You need to build us a civic center. Now Tab, I want you to ask yourself this. You've been to a lot of cities. You've lived all over the world. I look at our city hall, which is in Edgemont.
Yeah.
Surrounded by warehouses. What other city does that?
But again, we are not a master plan city.
Exactly. But did you see where I'm leading?
I track where you're going, you know. But again, it is what it is now.
Yes.
So now we need to figure out
how to dig ourselves out of this. Stop digging.
Stop digging. And what's the way forward? How can we make Moreno Valley a city where people want to stay, want to raise their children? But this is the conversation that I had with Roy last night about the school board. Mm-hmm. That, and I've said this, and I know I've talked to Deborah about this. I think there's no greater profession in this world than teachers, because teachers, we entrust our kids.
True.
Majority of the day.
But just because you're a teacher, that doesn't mean you know what you're doing.
No. Rock with me.
Mm-hmm.
We entrust our children with teachers from the time they're 5 up until they're 18.
Sure.
They spend more time with our children in those years than we do. Mm-hmm. And my kids have been fortunate enough to go to
Dodds.
tons of schools, including Dodds schools. And we were most recently in Corona Norco Unified.
Right.
Now, I have never been more impressed outside of a Dodds district than with Corona. Oh my God. That is such a wonderful school district.
Yes.
Not only does the school board invest in their teachers, they invest in their students, and they invest in the facilities and the educational tools that those kids need. They teach them. They have programs to give them a head start in college and help them, give them direction of where they want to be as an adult. And that's where Moreno Valley is lacking.
And why is that? I'll tell you why. Look at our population.
Correct. And that's the sad part, because what we're doing a disservice to our students. We're doing a disservice to our kids because we're not showing them. And I am a logistician. I've been kicking boxes since I was 8 years old.
Sure.
And I think a warehouse job is a great jumping off point to move up in the logistics community.
Absolutely. But technology is going to replace regular workers. We know that.
But I'm saying you can use warehousing,
I'm not
as a jumping off point to move forward. And it's not just, I can be a warehouse supervisor. No, you can be the global logistics guy doing plans, programs, and analysis.
You can start here in Moreno Valley in warehouses and get a dream job with FedEx, UPS.
But what I would hope that the school district would do was give more educational opportunities for these kids who probably aren't going to leave Moreno Valley, and it's sad.
But that's also a cultural thing.
But it's also because the bar, and I agree with Roy, the bar is set super, super low.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I find that we're shortchanging our children because we're not forcing them to be smarter than they already are.
Okay, you got to remember, and I agree with you. However, you're dealing with a cultural situation.
No, because there's some wonderful schools.
No, absolutely.
In Compton, there's wonderful schools in Echo Park.
No, I understand that. But here's the problem you're dealing with. We are in the desert out here. You're in Moreno Valley. There's low income, low level thing. We as parents are part of the problem because kids are visual. When they see that you're building them low budget housing, you're keeping the bar low.
But even still, look at Echo Park. Look at Compton. Look at Linwood. Look at all...
Historically, cities that are, over 100 years old almost now?
But I'm just saying, but these school districts, even in low-income areas, they still... LA Unified has put money into these schools.
I agree with you, but see, you're comparing apples and oranges. We are only 30 years old. We're not even 37 years old.
Okay, then let's go down to 15.
Right.
Let's go to Menifee. Let's go to Temecula.
Master planned city.
Let's go to Menifee. Let's go to Murrieta.
Master planned cities.
Let's go to Victorville. Even.
Master planned city.
But again, we can still invest in. If our school was proactive,
and they're not.
And maybe it's time we start to rethink who we're electing. And I say that across the board. And I'm not just talking about Highland Fairview candidates. I'm talking about across the board.
Of course, qualified people.
If the people sitting on the dais and the people on the school board aren't doing the things that are benefiting the community, and I'm talking about, and I love Dave, but I'm saying everybody across the board, if they're not doing what we need them to do to better Moreno Valley, then next time it's time for an election, you vote for the person that is.
See, but the thing is, we can't wait for next time. We can't.
So what do you want to do? Recall?
Yeah, you need to start recalling them.
Isn't that a lot of paperwork?
It doesn't. See, that's the thing.
No, I've never been a part of a recall.
Yeah, it is a lot of paperwork now that they've redone the districts and stuff like that.
My question is, because I've never been a part of a recall. I know is it a lengthy process?
Yes, it is.
So you
need so many signatures within so many days, and now that we shrunk our districts, the number is going to be more.
How long does it take? Because I'm learning from you.
You get. I don't know what it is now that we have these new districts, but you have 30 days to get so many signatures or whatever, just hypothetically.
Okay.
I know it's probably longer than that. But 30 to 45 days to get these signatures. You turn them in, they verify the signature, then a recall date is set.
Okay.
The election, and then that election.
And how many, from the time you turn it in to the actual recall date, how long is it? Because
it depends on what the season is like. Like if we have a general election coming up in November, they might set it for November. But let's say it's a special election.
Okay.
They might say, we're going to have one in August. Since there's nothing happening in November, they might say August.
So my question is this, because who can initiate a recall?
Anybody.
So any citizen of Moreno Valley.
Any citizen.
Who can hand jam the paperwork, get the formatting, and all this other stuff. Because, I know every document's got to have proper formatting.
Yep.
But, okay, so when you go and turn this in, you go to City Hall and you give it to who?
Well, you don't go to City Hall. You go to ROV, get the paperwork.
Okay.
And whatever that process is there. And quote me if I'm wrong, listening, whatever, because I didn't necessarily do the paperwork. But I know in general, you go to ROV, get the paperwork, you get so many signatures, you go back to ROV, and they say, this has been certified, this is whatever.
Can anybody drag ass on that process?
Can they drag ass?
As far as, if I go and turn this paperwork in to ROV, do they, because I don't know.
Yeah, you mean this had it on standby?
Can somebody be like, well, you forgot to dot this?
Yeah, that's what they did.
Oh, okay.
Yes, that's what they do. That's exactly how they stop it. And, Ito has people at ROV that does what he does. Okay. But the point is, if you stay on top of it, like I said, it's not impossible because
you've done it.
We've done it.
Yeah.
So,
but, I was never, I wasn't here for...
And when we say we, I wasn't a part of the recall. So
I'm curious about it, and since we're talking about it, let's talk about it.
But it's not impossible. And that's why I try to tell people, don't give up hope, because if you really want to do it, you can do it.
The unfortunate part is, it's
the same people that are doing all the legwork, and these people are getting tired. That's the problem. We need new blood. And
here's my question, because, I was at work and we were talking about it because everyone at work knows what goes on down here.
Of course.
Everybody knows what's going on. And it was kind of, and I tell people, when you look at the numbers for District 4 election, people have to
doesn't
understand.
Make sense.
It doesn't make sense, but I tell people what you have to understand that there was a part of it was old District 4 that got to vote, not new District 4 as an entirety.
Right.
So that's why, even though I'm still kind of sad that it was like 12,000. Roy can tell you the exact numbers. That man is like a freaking computer. But I was just like, so what do we do to get people engaged? How do we get people, and not just speaking District specifically, just engage, but I'm talking about citywide.
Okay, what
because
it is
people are so
you have to do
out.
what has to happen. Number one, why it's not going to happen. 58% of this town is Hispanic, and unfortunately, these people are too busy dealing with their families or working or believing in a dream.
Okay, well, wait a minute. I'm a working mother of 2.
Yes.
I go to school full time. I commute back and forth.
You're also a veteran that knows the political game and how important it is your vote is and stuff like that.
So is it an education issue?
It's an education issue because you've got a lot of these people that are here in a legal term, and they have anchor babies that are going to our schools, which bring our things down.
Take the illegal immigrants out of it. Talking about,
But
actual.
that's a part of the problem. You've got the second and third generations. They didn't learn anything from the ones that brought them here because it wasn't important because these people weren't involved. They were in the shadows. So the it's like when we were younger. You're not really concerned. All you know is the national. You don't worry about the local because you're too busy. You didn't even care. You're born in this town. I don't want to stay in this town. I want to leave. That's why I think it's ridiculous when people say, we've got to do something to make the kids stay. Why the hell would you want your kids to stay where you wanted to live?
See, well, okay. But again, because you were...
different. I'm a different species.
We're different.
Right. I was a military brat. So
you were a military brat. So you didn't really establish...
This was my initial roots.
So the traditional thing that people do, and I only know because, I'm an LA transplant.
Sure.
I'm, LA, Kentucky, and then, then now I'm out here. But people actually stay where they grew up, which is weird.
Yeah, it's weird.
For me, it's weird.
It's weird.
For me, it's extremely weird.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to stay.
But again, that's not my
unless there's opportunity. That's what I'm saying. I would have stayed here if there was opportunity. But when I was a kid here, your opportunity was that base, and that was it.
Right, but
and I got out.
But okay, so all my friends that I've been friends with since I was like 14, 15 years old,
they're still here.
They're still here. They live down the street from where their parents live.
Right.
Their brother lives down the street. They all live and work and breathe in here. But but that's
the culture.
But but saying that's that
mentality.
Norm that we're not familiar with, and that's where I have to kind of take a step back because I was like, well, and even I was like, why the hell would you want to stay here? But then that is the norm for some people.
Right.
And I get it.
But I don't care what your norm is. Why would you stay in a town that has no opportunity?
But they're like me.
You would be forced to leave if you want a good job.
They're like me. I have a job that's out of town, and I just go. But even my dad, my parents.
Back in the day, he had to commute. Everybody out.
Even my mom to this day, they live in one city. Mom works in another.
And she's been at that job for so many years, and she's making top dollar.
But even I have a girlfriend, and we went to high school together, and she doesn't work in Riverside.
Sure.
She lives in Riverside, but she works in Claremont.
Of course.
So she's back and forth.
Of course.
But commuting is now the new norm.
It is the new norm because of the money that you're making and doing what you're doing.
Working local isn't feasible for a lot of people anymore. Okay. And that's the unfortunate part. But to be able to have a job in town.
But not here in Moreno Valley. See, that's what people don't understand.
But not even here in Riverside. A lot of people in Riverside don't even work in Riverside
I know,
anymore.
now, because all the jobs have closed down, whatever it is, and moved away.
My mom worked in Riverside for a good 3 years.
Right. And she got a better job and moved on. Right.
Bank of America said, hey, girl, we're moving you out to Brea.
But that's what I'm saying. Consolidation, whatever the situation is. What people don't understand about Moreno Valley is this was always a bedroom community.
Right.
Unless you were in the military, there were no jobs here other than the school district and the base, which is still the case to this very day.
Right. So now, I think, honestly, we could evolve. So I think this whole bedroom community crap is literally a bunch of hooey.
No, it's a hooey now because we have a population that says, we need this, we need this, we need that. We need this, we need this, we need that. But the point is, we have inexperienced idiots on the council who do not know how to run a city. And that's what I'm saying. If they had hindsight versus taking money from a developer to go to their wins, I'm sorry, we've got all this warehousing. How the hell can they be unemployed? Talk about a WLC. You got a warehouse right now that isn't fully employed. So if you're not going to work this warehouse that we have right here, you think you're going to get a job 25 years from now? No skills?
See,
you don't even have certification.
So here's the thing.
Oh, that's too much common sense.
We had this conversation in the car.
Yes, we did.
When we were going to go get something to eat.
Yes, we were going to get something to eat. Me and Tay were not in the car doing anything else but talking.
No.
I want to get that.
We went to go get something to eat. We were talking about. I was telling you a story about my friend.
Yes.
Wanting to expand.
Yes.
I have a lot of friends that are business owners.
Yes.
I'm very fortunate to have a lot of people that are self-made.
Yes.
You know, and I think that's amazing.
It is.
When it comes to people who own their own businesses, I really like to support those type of businesses.
Yes, and there's businesses that can't come to Moreno Valley because we don't have the median income to bring jobs.
I was really, really trying to get one specific business out here only because I love to eat there.
Right.
But, you know, and him and his wife, they own multiple businesses. Mm-hmm. And I said, hey, you please, you know, in my opinion, and that's why I like Moreno Valley so much, because it is literally in the perfect spot. It's, you know, Everybody asks me,
why did I come out of all my travels? Why did I come back here? This is the only place in the world where you could be in the desert. And Vegas is 3 hours away.
Exactly.
The mountains and the snow is a half an hour, 45 minutes away. Another country 90 miles away. The beach is 60 miles away. So on and so forth.
It's literally the perfect spot.
You've got Disneyland, Universal Studios. You got everything you need.
I go to Disney every week. All the time because
week.
I get a straight shot. I can take Ellis all the way down, jump on the 91 hit that carpool lane and keep going. But we have such a gem, you know, that I'm just like, So, you know, I invited my friend to come out here, and I told him, take a look around the city, you know, see what Moreno Valley's about. It has a lot of potential, and I was really hoping, you know, that they would want to, you know, expand out here, but unfortunately, they don't because of how it, and unfortunately, it's not how it is how it's laid out. You know, it's like
but it's also our workforce. Look at our people. I mean, I'm not downing Moreno Valley.
I think, and one of their complaints was they really didn't think that this was the community for them.
Exactly.
Where they're like, well, you know, Riverside, Murrieta, you know, all that other. They have the people that would be interested in that type of.
As a longtime resident here, and people don't. You know, when I get asked that very same question, if you're asking me as somebody who has observed what has been happening here. To me, it seems like a whole community in LA transplanted itself in the 90s here. And this is what we're stuck with. People who just, you know, I'm not saying I'm better than this person or that person or whatever it is. It's like a whole different type of person and community has transplanted itself here from what used to be here.
And the thing is, I think that, you know, unfortunately, a lot of these businesses who choose not to come out here, I think they are selling Moreno Valley short. Mm-hmm. Because I see a lot of great people out here. Mm-hmm. I see a lot of opportunity out here. I see that, you know, it's one of those things where, what is it? Gosh, I can't even think of the thing. But I think that, you know, for those people don't want to come here, they're going to miss out on so much. And then once we get pumping and we get going, they dang, you know? Man,
I missed that opportunity to be at that warehouse.
So
Gosh.
It's like, you know, while I tell people, oh, it's your loss, you know, and it's like, darn, I really would hope, you know, outside of Nailbox 99-cent stores, we would get, you know, some diverse.
We're getting a new Popeye's chicken off Day Street.
Yay. So it's just one of those where, you know, I really want to see more. You know, I wish that Hobby Lobby was next door to, you know, that Target on Merino Beach. That would have been awesome. You know, or that Pieology. I love to see that somewhere off of Nason somewhere. You know, or, you know, just...
Well, you know why Riverside is putting those things on Day Street. right there, right? People don't, people could talk about Edgemont all they want, but do you know why Riverside did that?
I feel it's like a nana boo boo.
No, it's because all the people in the Edgemont area are what?
You're going to go right up to these stores.
They're retired and have a money base. Of course, our thing is changing, the neighborhood's changing, younger families are coming in, but that's why they put it there, because you had a base of people who had money.
The only thing I wish we'd get rid of is Walmart. I hate Walmart.
Hey, I'm with you.
It's just Walmart is so grimy.
Target is getting there, so.
Well, and that's the sad part, because now everyone's like, oh, I'll pay a couple bucks extra, and go to Target. But no, stay out of my Target. Stay out of my Target. You're ruining it for me. To where now I have to go to the Target outside the city because I now have creeps and weirdos outside the Target.
Absolutely.
But,
Absolutely.
Again, I need this to focus on the things that matter right now.
They're not going to
public safety. I need more cops on the street.
It's not going to happen.
It's
going to happen. If you want to disenfranchise a community, you take away its sense of security. And that's what they're doing.
And I mean, I've never...
And that is leading to the people who have money leaving. When you don't feel safe in your city, it's time to go.
Well, and I mean, I've said this before. The reason why I'm not buying in Moreno Valley is because, one, I don't feel safe. And if I don't feel safe, why am I going to waste, a few $100,000 on a house when I can go to the other side of the 215 River and know I'll have a police presence?
Exactly.
I need a police presence. I need to feel like I can walk and ride my bike.
Right.
And I'm not going to have people drag racing down the street like they do in Alessandro.
Here's the bottom line. When you hear idiots like Evan Moron, Mr. Forcible Rape... Morgan. Talk about Riverside is jealous of us or this, that.
Riverside
you are comparing apples and oranges. We are only 33 years old as a city.
Riverside has no reason to be jealous.
Exactly. Riverside is over 100 years old.
They have Cal Baptist. They have RCC, which is a powerhouse.
Well, what I'm saying is, that's like...
They have a downtown
That's like talking to your grandfather as a young person and trying to tell him what life's about.
Right.
You're comparing apples and oranges. We are still in our infancy.
Even if you tried to compare Corona to Moreno Valley. Right. Again, apples and oranges.
Infancy. We're in an infancy. And our problem is we keep electing people who are not qualified to get on that council. LaDonna Jimson was not qualified. Kerberos is definitely not qualified. Gutierrez is not qualified. One of the worst things you can do in politics is put a businessman and politics. I'm not saying a businessman can never be a good politician, but you don't make him the president.
No.
He has to spend some time in Congress or in the Assembly or whatever. It's like General Roth.
Look at where we're at now.
Yeah, he's in the Assembly. Okay, General Roth. So he's got to learn to leave that military stuff and learn how the political game runs. But just because you're a teacher doesn't mean you're smart. There's a lot of idiot teachers out there.
Yeah.
I have 11 different degrees. Does that make me smarter than anybody else? It doesn't.
No.
Hell no at all. So just because you're a teacher doesn't mean you know everything. And we're seeing that in our city because this teacher has no ethics, which is very, you would think a teacher would have ethics. These teachers show me they don't have ethics. So we're electing people that just aren't qualified. Jesse Molina, I don't know. I couldn't vote for him either way, but the point is I'm using examples of people who are not qualified to be on that dais. Victor Baca, not qualified.
But I will say that I think the election of Cabrera kind of stirred the pot because I think people were not expecting him to get elected.
You can't expect.
When he did get elected, it was like
Hornet's
even
nest.
in the PE was like 22-year-old, whatever he does for a living, and people were like, "Wow,
Moreno Valley is an idiot." Oh, there's Moreno Valley again.
So
and now he's in Miami with his butt buddy.
No.
This is not a politically correct show.
I know.
I mean, it's obvious during the election, idiot Gutierrez was fawning over that guy. And again, I agree in social and behavioral science. Doesn't mean I'm an expert, but I did study it. He, in my opinion,
you guys can't see me shake my head,
has a crush on Mr. Kerberos, and they're down in Miami right now.
No, they're not. They're back.
Well, they're back where they were in Miami. I wonder, somebody please check the shit stains in Mr. Such and So's drawers.
Donovan.
Somebody, please do it.
Jeez.
I'm just saying. 30-something-year-old man living with his parents. No girlfriend, never had a girlfriend.
I don't know that man's personal life. I really don't care to be honest.
I just told you his personal life. Check the shit stains.
No,
in the front.
No thanks. It's just one of those things where, we need to check. We all need to check ourselves.
Yes, I agree.
We need to check ourselves.
I have said I am willing to work with anybody.
We're getting to the point where we're spinning and we're attacking each other, and it's this personal level thing.
It's not personal to me. You can attack me all day, as long as what you attack me with is based on facts. If not, I will sue you for slander and all that other good stuff.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, I just hope that we can all get together and
I'm always willing. I will be the first at the table.
Unify
you got my
as
promise.
a city to be on.
That will never happen. That's like saying black unity. That's like saying black unity. Never happen.
I know I'm on this We Are the World.
Yes. And that's a good way to be. Trust me. I would love it to be that way.
We're really circling the drain right now.
Okay, Tay, I will tell you this. I will meet with anybody and I will...
Lies.
No. That's my word. That's my word. I'm serious. A consensus candidate, hey, I'm off consensus candidate as long as it isn't people who have run before or who have bad attitudes and it's about them. Denise Fleming, I've said it on my show. I'll say it on this show again. If you ask me who is the most qualified person that has ran for office, for mayor, I will tell you that was Denise Fleming. Factual. I could back it up. She's educated, blah, 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 blah. Her downfall is her attitude, and she does not care about the community.
You know who I want to run for District 2?
Who?
Daryl P.
Okay. And why is that?
You know what? As much as I am off about the P's, because I hate the word public. I hate
public policy. I know you hate the word. Public policy says.
Hate it.
Public policy says.
I think that they would be good for this. I really do.
I think they would be good for the city.
I do. I really do. I really, really do.
Why is Cat going in that room and singing back there? I don't know what he sees back there.
He wants me to play with him.
Yeah, I'm serious.
No, I seriously think that the P's have a lot to give to
the
community.
They're young.
They're young.
They know policy.
Yeah.
And they know politics.
Yes.
Okay.
Not just that. I think that they truly want. They truly have a very. I think that they want the best for Moreno Valley, and they really want to do whatever they can.
So you don't think Mr. Gaiba is going to run for re-election?
I don't think so.
Why not?
I think he's just kind of over it.
Is he over it, or the fact that he doesn't have Edo money to back him?
That too.
Okay.
That too. But I think, he's just going to ride off like Melina, ride off into the sunset. We'll see him every once in a while, at Costco or whatever.
Yeah,
but
no,
I just think that, he needs to just make way for new blood. And
yeah, well, like I said, a lot of these people realize till after the fact that
all money ain't good money.
I was just going to say that.
All money
Absolutely.
ain't good money.
No matter what his intentions are, nothing came to fruition. That's what I'm saying. You get on this dais. He keep using LaDonna, but I have to use what I know. LaDonna Jensen. Seriously, why did you run for office if you weren't going to run for anything?
We can't sing our shoulda coulda.
No, it's not a shoulda coulda woulda. But what I'm saying is, for anybody listening, if you were planning to run for office, you've got to have a platform to run on. What are you going to stand for?
Well, Millie Bailey didn't have a platform to stand on. Millie Bailey came out of nowhere.
Right.
She was...
And placed third.
Yeah.
Personally, I think she was a vote splitter for Highland Fairview because she kept Highland Fairview people around her. But that's my opinion. But...
yeah. But, since then, where is she?
It dropped off the face of the earth.
But,
exactly.
It's the people that I see that are not just, that are out there doing... And I just think that we need to pave the way for new blood.
Okay.
So that's why I say the Jerry Mercados,
yes.
the Pete and Twins,
Jerry Mercado,
Shalinda Bernard.
Yes, if Jerry Mercado runs in District 1.
Even if Hector Diaz wanted to throw tap back.
I don't think he will. I mean,
I don't think he will.
Yeah, but he's lost a lot of money already.
But he's still someone that
is viable.
He's not just that. Is he wants to make a better Moreno Valley.
Right, but one thing I can say for him, Hector, is he's got to stop his talking point of being a job creator. We know he's a job creator. Oh, he's got to do a different...
Job creater, public policy.
Right, we've got to... He's got to expand that a little bit. But I'm going to put this out there. I said, my concern is District 1. I don't really care about the city. Everybody knows that. I care about the city as a whole, but what I'm saying is you always care about District 1. Because I have a problem in Edgemont. So that's always, like I said, I'm consistent. I'll never change that. If we can take my district, you can take care of your district, and so on. The city as a whole takes care of itself. We elect the right people.
Right.
Jerry Mercado, I wish he didn't run in that election because that would have swayed a lot of votes. It would have changed a lot of outcomes. Or maybe if I didn't run, it would have changed the outcome in his favor. But if we had sat down and it talked and said, hey, blah, 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 and the platform...
He ran for District 1.
He did. He did run for District 1.
Right.
And if he is thinking about running in the future, I'm going to tell you, I'm not running. I'm going to support Jerry Mercado, and because me and him have talked, and we've done a lot of stuff like that. Very smart man, architect, and that's the thing. We don't talk to each other enough ahead of time to see what is best for everybody involved.
Right.
If we had sat down and talked in the first time, I wouldn't have wasted my resources and ran a district, and I would have supported him and where he wanted to go.
Right.
But I'm going to say this, and you say we need to get along. Anytime idiot Morgan...
Being a jerk.
Yeah, I got this cat from the animal shelter.
He's such a jerk.
And he is so aggressive, and he doesn't back down. You notice that? If you attack him, he will not back down. And he hit all the buttons and stuff like that, and he's really mean. I'll give a challenge to you. Anytime idiot Evan Moron wants to come on this show... Moron. Okay, forcible rape moron. Morgan wants to come on the show. I'm always willing to sit down at Starbucks and have a talk with Mr. School District. Anytime.
I hope he takes you up on that.
He won't, because he's a coward.
Well, I mean, at some point...
We'll meet him anywhere in the city, and we can all sit down and have a Starbucks. On him, of course, because he works for the school district. And we can air our problems.
Right. But at some point, you're going to have to cut... If he never does it, then at some point, you're going to have to cut your losses.
Of course.
And unfortunately...
I'm not going to waste my time on that idiot.
Well, yeah. But again, it's... Yeah, I don't know. It is what it is.
I put it out there.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? So, again. Yeah. And here's a funny story. The actual show, when I conceptualized this show, Evan Morgan was my first thought of as a co-host because he was so opposite of what I was doing. But when I saw that he was an ethical person, I said, no, I can't associate myself with that. So that's how that ended up. And this is where we're at today. But as we wind up and wind out, what do you got going on this week? We got less than a minute.
I'm working. My new class starts Friday.
All right. Loving the skin I'm in. We're looking forward to that.
Yes, I can't wait.
And that's going to be your show, and you're going to get away from politics. You're going to talk about life.
Yeah, because I think, I need to step away from politics because this city's draining me.
It is, and it's summertime.
It's absolutely just ridiculous. Just bring ability back to Moreno Valley.
Well, we'll work on it. I promise.
I'm going to do that hashtag movement.
Okay.
Bring civility back to Moreno Valley.
Sign me up. All right, that's the Hot Seat Radio Show for this week. You guys, the show is going to be live from Louisiana. Look out for it.